Distance running is about the battle between mind and body. It's about embracing the pain, and like life, it's dictated by time.
That was a rough summer for a lot of people. I don't know if that's part of the reason Daniel wants to just, go so hard and go because he doesn't know how long he has.
Daniel Beckstead was destined to run early on, even if he didn't know it yet.
We would mow a big track around our property and they would just run and run and run out there.
By 8th grade in Grants Pass, Daniel had distanced himself from the pack.
1 mile didn't seem like a big deal. A lot of kids are complaining about, oh, 1 mile, that's a hard thing.
I really don't have to sit down and talk to him about the techniques. He knows that already because he studies it.
The runner he studied most was Max, a legend at Grants Pass High School who was 2 years older than him.
We had heard of Max when we first moved here because those were the times to beat.
I already knew about him before I knew about me.
Daniel had his sights set on breaking Max's records, so naturally, Max became his mentor.
What Max was, capable of doing, and it was kind of eye-opening. It was pretty amazing. Max was fast.
By sophomore year, Daniel was closing on Max. On the 4th of July, the duo fired off the starting line in a 400-meter race.
I could definitely see I come a long way, but more than anything, just to see how far behind I actually was of Max still.
Max came up to me, shook my hand, he said, "Coach, I'm ready for the season." And I just felt so confident that we were going to have a fantastic year.
That was the final moment Coach Goodell and Max were able to share.
I got a text from a friend of mine saying prayers for the Belknaps. Their plane hasn't come back.
Max, his dad, and teammate Ryan Merker were celebrating the 4th of July on the coast and were on their way home.
The message to me was that the plane had disappeared en route back to Grants Pass on the 4th at approximately 10:30, 11 o'clock, and nobody had heard anything since.
That was the last thing we expected, especially, we ran with him yesterday.
Their plane crashed into the Pacific shortly after takeoff. Nobody on the plane survived.
He was really quiet. We didn't talk about it very much. He didn't want to talk about it. I think he was trying to internalize why that happened. I remember he was texting Ryan, and Ryan wouldn't respond. And it was just really hard for him.
As Daniel reflected on their time together, running helped him shut off the noise around him.
I had a place to go to, and I could really think during those long runs. And there's not really a lot of places you can really think in this world.
Ready to go, guys! A year later, after fighting through injuries, Daniel is stronger and faster than ever.
He told me, he goes, "I really want to break that course record at Prefontaine."
Daniel beat 191 runners from 17 schools to win the 5K.
And I just sat there almost astounded watching him, thinking he really can do this.
He finished in 15 minutes and 55 seconds, less than 2 seconds away from the course record.
One of my first thoughts when I first broke 16 was like, Max, I did it.
But he was 6 seconds faster than the school record, previously held by Max.
Max would walk up, shake Daniel's hand and give him a big hug. Now, that's exactly what Max would do.
It was something I wanted to see him do so bad. And since he never did it, I almost wanted to do that as my last way of honoring him.